Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for March 28, 2024, chef gunned down in St. James. A man was shot dead during an attack along the Catherine Hall Main Road in St. James on Wednesday. He has been identified as Philip Clark, a chef of Salt Springs, St. James. It is reported that sometime before 3 p.m., Mr. Clark was walking along the roadway when a man armed with a handgun approached and shot him. He died at the scene. Major fraud uncovered at a court branch in Clarendon. Fraud squad detectives are probing what is suspected to be a major fraud at the Maypen branch of Court Unicomer, Jamaica in Clarendon. This follows the arrest and the charge of a cashier who is accused of stealing nearly $20 million from the company. The accused, 26-year-old Therese Blake, an administrative supervisor, was charged last week. Ms. Blake has so far been charged with larceny as a servant, engaging in transaction involving criminal property, and the possession of criminal property. The news was informed that Courts Jamaica is now conducting a follow-up audit to determine the extent of the fraud. It's alleged that between June 2023 and March 2024, Ms. Blake inflated the payment figure to individuals who collected their remittances at the JN MoneyGram section in the store. It's further alleged that after manipulating the figure, she pocketed the balance as a part of the fraud scheme. The news was informed that preliminary investigations have so far uncovered the theft of approximately $19 million. Investigators reportedly conducted a raid at Ms. Blake's home last week and seized $2.2 million at the dwelling. A motor car belonging to her was also seized. Ms. Blake, who remains in custody, is booked to appear before the Clarendon Parish Court on April 9. CPFSA secures a court order to remove wards from Sunbeam Children's Home. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency says it has succeeded in its legal battle to remove 52 children from the Sunbeam Children's Home in St. Catherine following a probe into alleged cases of child abuse at the facility. Chief Executive Officer Laurette Adams Thomas confirmed with the news on Wednesday afternoon that the courts granted the order for the children to be removed from the children's home. She said they are all currently being housed at the same location, which was not disclosed. The CPFSA had previously disclosed that cases of physical abuse at the facility were reported to the National Children's Registry dating back to 2020. In January, the facility was delicensed after internal investigations revealed that instances of child abuse were continuing. The manager of Sunbeam Children's Home, Desmond Whiteley, subsequently complained about the handling of the matter, including the investigation into the cases of abuse. But Mrs. Adams Thomas at that time said there was consistent communication with the facility's management and the opportunities were provided to correct the deficiencies, including staff participating in behavior modification training. Mrs. Adams Thomas said when she took over leadership of the CPFSA in October, meetings were held with the management of all children's homes and the zero-tolerance approach to child abuse was emphasized. Abuse allegations were proven following investigations carried out in conjunction with the Office of the Children's Advocate. The latest report of abuse at the Sunbeam Children's Home was made in January of this year. Loaded container snaps loose from trailer on Marcus Garvey Drive. It was perhaps a sheer luck that there was not a major catastrophe on Marcus Garvey Drive in Kingston on Wednesday when a loaded container snapped from a trailer truck on the normally busy 6-lane roadway. The container came to a halt along the roadway without anyone or any other vehicle being reportedly injured or damaged. A somewhat similar incident on the Salt Pond Main Road near Spanish Town in St. Catherine last August left a motorist dead after the vehicle in which the individual was traveling ended up being crushed by the trailer that the driver reportedly lost the control of. Bunting butts heads with Sinclair. Deputy Senator President Charles Sinclair yesterday clashed with Peter Bunting, the leader of opposition business, over the latter's insistence that he would finish opposition leader Mark Golding's budget presentation, which was cut short on March 19 by a walkout led by the Prime Minister in the House of Representatives. Golding could not continue his contribution to the budget debate in the lower house as the walkout by government lawmakers left the sitting without a quorum, as a quorum comprises 16 members, not including the Speaker. Bunting came armed with a balance of Golding's budget speech yesterday and insisted that the section of the opposition leader's presentation that was not delivered in the lower house be recorded by Hansard in the Senate. Hansard is the official record of Parliament. He highlighted that no less than 8 ministers of the Jamaica Labour Party government had been forced to resign since the party came to power in 2016. However, Sinclair stopped Bunting in his tracks as he cautioned the members of the upper house to contain our speeches to what is relevant to what is before us. The senators were debating the appropriations bill, which sets out government revenues and expenditure for fiscal year 2024 to 2025. Citing Standing Order 35-1, Sinclair said the senator must confine his remarks to the subject under debate. You are going into an area where you are now transgressing into an area that is not relevant. Senator Bunting and the members on both sides stick to the relevance of what is before us, Sinclair said. Standing Order 35-1, which addresses contents of speeches, states, subject to the provisions of Standing Order 11, debate upon any motion, bill or amendment shall be relevant to such motion, bill or amendment, and the member shall confine his observations to the subject under discussion. Bunting hit back, saying that a budget was a statement of priorities and that he would not confine himself to numbers. Senator Bunting, I am not going to get in an argument with you, said Sinclair. Bunting retorted, you cannot tell me the content of my presentation. With decibel levels increasing, Sinclair again charged Bunting to confine his presentation to the bill that was before them. But an animated Bunting declared that the bill covered every aspect of government. It covers the Auditor General, it covers the Clerk of the Houses, it covers the Integrity Commission, it covers every crevice and corner of government, he said. Bunting charged, if you want to muzzle me, you will have to take me out of here. You can walk out and remove the quorum. Responding, Sinclair said, you can continue, but where you go outside of 35-1, I will rein you in. He also told Bunting that as the presiding officer, he determines what was relevant under the standing orders. However, this triggered another sharp exchange with Bunting, who said, you can come and try with that bullying tactics. You don't determine my contribution. I decide what is relevant. Bunting's mention of the failure to disclose the identity of the so-called illicit six again saw the intervention of Sinclair. He warned Bunting not to cast aspirations in relation to persons who are members of either chamber. However, Bunting questioned, what are you going to do? Continuing, Bunting said that the anti-corruption body had reported that there were 6 MPs who were under investigation for illicit enrichment. Sinclair said the senator should allow the commission to complete its investigation and submit a report to Parliament. Bunting then urged the Integrity Commission to complete its investigation and submit a report to Parliament. The leader of opposition business also mentioned that the statutory declaration of the Prime Minister could not be certified for successive years. We're asking that the Integrity Commission makes a full report to Parliament on that issue, so that the taint on the integrity of the government be addressed transparently, he added. The appropriations bill was passed by the Senate. This paves the way for government spending of the $1.3 trillion that is set aside in the budget for the 2024-2025 financial year, which starts on April 1. I did not kill anyone, murder accused tells a court. Alexander Page, a St. Catherine resident accused of murder, maintained his innocence when he appeared before the parish court on Wednesday. The 60-year-old was remanded until May 22, where he will be expected to answer to allegations of stabbing 45-year-old Isaiah Atkinson to death along Salt Pond Road. Page was subsequently arrested and charged with murder. Speaking on the matter, the accused told the court that I am receiving treatment from the system, but I have full understanding and I did not kill anyone. He has made numerous court appearances and maintained his innocence.